99.3 FM, Rhythm of the Coast, rhythmofthecoast.com, royalty in the building. You know, every now and then the cliche goes, the sun shines even on a dog's behind every now and then. I would be that canine this go round, man. It doesn't get much better than this. We are back with another intimate conversation, inspiring reflection. Guess what, man? Just a couple of days ago, our superstar was at the 8th annual Women Making History Awards. And before that, just a few weeks prior, she was the co-ambassador for the 26th annual SAG Awards. A prestigious move, man. Few actors get that opportunity, but she is the next wave of superstar actresses, man. So without further adu, getting prepped for a fourth and final season of the hit Netflix satirical drama series, Dear White People, she is Logan Browning. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Thank you.
If I could dance, I would.
You are.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're so generous, man, because, coming from someone who had the tenacity to spend 8 months to a year prepping for the Hit the Floor series, man, for you to say that I was halfway dancing, I'm honored. I'm honored. Super look. So how you doing, man?
I'm really, really great. I really am happy to be here.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know, the Logan Larice Stay Slayed program is in full effect. Huh?
This is the low maintenance version.
Wow.
The high maintenance version is the red carpet version, and that takes a lot longer.
Okay. Glam Squad is in the mix for that?
Yes, the whole team. I have a fabulous team, an amazing makeup artist. I switch a lot, but my main makeup artist, her name is Tasha. And we're always like trying to go for that natural face. Same with the hair, that natural hair. Because I personally always trying to fight against the beauty standard that is being pushed onto people right now in terms of mass media. Mm-hmm. And so like when I go on carpets, I don't put on fake lashes and don't straighten my hair and not really putting a beat face on. It's just, what is the least amount that I can do to make myself feel refreshed for a bright camera flash. That's it. That's the goal. And that's a part of my activism is the beauty conversation. Because it's crazy when you think about, when we look back at like movie starlets, in the Marilyn Monroe or the Eartha Kitt, like there was a look at all of these different times. And if you look back to right now, years later, it is gonna be the filled faces, the injected lips, the long dark hair, the parts in the middle, the filler everywhere else. And if that's not how you're shaped already, like stop trying to be that. Just be, your natural beauty. So yeah, that's a part of my activism.
Wow, man. It's interesting to hear you decidedly move in that direction with how you present yourself publicly, right? Because how you present yourself, that's your calling card. That could be the difference between getting that next look for an audition with that next big film or television series, et cetera. And so, what we're discussing seemingly casually by conversation really has some serious repercussions about somebody who does what you do for a living, man. Speaking of image, the power of image, right? Growing up, you aspired to be a Disney kid, man. So the likes of Raven Simone and Tia and Tamara Mowry, those series, That's So Raven and Sister, for you as a child to see those images and connect that, well, hey, I love this so much, but maybe I could do that. I want to be a Disney kid. The images and the way that they were presented to you as a child, to what extent was that healthy and kept you from being confused about why you liked the way that they were presented?
Tia and Tamara on Sister Sister were really the first times when we talk about representation. Like for me personally, they were the first times I felt like I saw myself on TV as a real character. Before that, for me, it was Jasmine from Aladdin. It was Mulan, even though she wasn't black. She was like a woman of color, and it was Pocahontas. So they were cartoons, you know, that's where I was seeing myself. And so Tia and Tamara, before Raven Simone, like seeing myself represented in these like young, black, smart, goofy sisters with, you know, a family that's like not a typical, all of the things. I appreciated the image, and the way I felt when I watched them was like, they're my friends. They're my friends. And when I come home and I watch TV, I have these friends in my living room, and I wanted to be that for other people, because I know not everyone would go to school and have friends, or not everyone would feel like people in their family were their friends. But I knew that when I would turn on the TV, I mean, I was lucky to have both of those, but when I turned on the TV, they were my friends. So I wanted to be that for other people. I wanted people to go, oh, that's my friend Logan. Yeah, there she is on the TV. She's my friend, you know? And I think that they represented very well. I think they represented young black women in a way that was not perfect. They, you know, Tia and Tamara, they wore their hair straight, they wore their hair curly. They, like, the images of who they were, and Raven too, like just who they were not these, like, black women always have to be like the ones that you're looking to for the answers, the ones you're looking to be maternal out of everybody. And like, why is it that black women don't get to just be? And I got to see that in these young women really early. They were the epicenter of their stories. They weren't the side characters. They weren't like love interests. They weren't just anything. They were the center of their stories. And so I appreciated those images.
Wow. You're the extension of their presence, you know? So what is it like for you when you see them as a grown actress now in the game, when you come across one of the Maoris or both of them publicly, or whenever you see Sister Raven Simone, is it a bit surreal for you to now be grown and see them knowing the role that they played in your life trajectory?
It is, because they are everything that I would have ever imagined them to be in person. It's not a facade. I didn't see something, you know, they say, don't meet your heroes. It wasn't that. I remember the first time I met Tamara, I told her, I was like, hey, I did this thing for Netflix where we had to say the first time we saw ourselves on television, and it was you guys. And she was just so receptive to it. And her sister too, the first time I saw her, was so receptive to it. And I feel like they're my sisters. And same with Raven. Like, it inspires me to try to be that person when other people might see me as that, like, oh, hey, Logan, I watched you growing up, which I'm like, that's weird because I'm growing up. But when they say that, I'm like, okay, let me make sure that when they leave my presence, that they feel like they can carry that torch on to the next person.
Phenomenal, man. Images make all the difference in the world for us, both in the short and long term, man. She is Logan Larice Browning. Your middle name is so soulful. That's my favorite.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, your middle name is like anybody that's down with you, cookout, Atlanta homegrown, etc. When they see, I just see people, Larice, how you doing, girl? You know, not the first name, but just Larice that's when you know you're with your people.
That's my mom's middle name.
Wow.
Yeah, so I got that from my mama.
Oh, that would be the beautiful, the super mega talented business woman in her own right. Miss Browning, the international traveler?
Yes.
Wow, man. Who looked stunning during awards season,
My
by
mom
the
is
way.
fabulous.
Not
She's
playing.
a fabulous woman.
I think it's in the genes, that the way that you stay slayed, it's becoming clear now. It's in the family. It's in the family.
There is no excuse or exception for your presentation.
Look out, look out. No pressure, no pressure. She is Logan Browning. giving us an intimate conversation with some inspiring reflections. Keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. Sponsored by California 2020 Census. Additional support provided by the Port of Hueneme, Oxnard Harbor District. We make cargo move. Rhythmofthecoast.com. Rhythmofthecoast.com. It gets no better than Sister Lola, bro. That's right. That's right. Okay, you heard it. You heard it here first. If you want to hashtag that, that's on you. But Lola, bro. That's what we're working with, all right? So don't go anywhere. On the other side, more of this intimate conversation with inspiring reflections with Logan Browning. Yes. How about some music? I think, Lo, what do you think? How about if we do a joint? Okay, here's the deal. I know that you're a music lover. You told me off the air that recently you've been kicking it with some 90s music, right? We're going to go slightly earlier, right? No shade on the 90s love, but just we're going to take it a little earlier, right? Her name is Anita and the Baker, but we're going to do it with a slight twist.
Okay.
This sister, her birth given name is Yulayula, but she shortened it, and we know her as Layla.
Wow.
Her father is royalty also, Donny Hathaway. So this is Layla Hathaway's remake of Anita Baker's classic that we will dedicate to your mama, Neum.
Hey.
A little something called Angel. That one going out to the beautiful Linda Browning, Angel, Yulayula Hathaway, better known around the globe as Layla Hathaway. My sister Logan co-signed to that. She said it was okay to make that dedication, Miss Browning. So thank you, man. Brought to you by the California 2020 Census. This is an intimate conversation, inspiring reflections. Our guest this go-round, the incomparable Logan Browning, getting ready for the 4th season of Say It Ain't So, the final season of Dear White People. Come on, work something where we can talk to Brother Simien and can we do something where this doesn't have to be it, does it?
I mean, I think the letter was 4 seasons long, and it's love Black people. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Okay.
There you go. There's your love letter.
All right. A lot of growth for all those characters, though, man. Samantha White has come a long, long way.
Yeah, all of the characters from, I was just talking about this, Justin had a sizzle reel that he put online before the movie existed. I mean, that's been a labor of love. I could be wrong in saying this, but I'm pretty sure it was his college thesis, Dear White People. So he's been with this for a long, long time. And the characters on the show, Sam has gone from what she was junior year, I think is when you meet her, junior year, yeah. I mean, all the characters, the fact that now you get to follow along. There was a kid on a high. The fact that you get to follow along, with all the different character stories, and it's very special. It's very special programming.
Wow. So some of the fandom taking place in the window behind me. That's the love, man. That's the love. The paradox of education is when we begin to recognize that those by whom we're being educated, that role that they're playing, it causes for a different type of an examination, right? And so the context of that is set at the very beginning, season 1, episode 1 for Dear White People, that there is a context established that essentially allows the viewer to know, okay, these African-American students and other students of color are attempting to work their way the best way they know how through institutional bias, a predominantly white university, fictitious Winchester University. The fact that it's a satire and a drama, I think sometimes the satirical part seems to get lost in the sauce by those who are a little offended by the nature of the show, but the context is established literally within the first few seconds of the first episode.
Yeah.
You know, so at this point, the fourth and final run being on the precipice, how far do you feel like the narrative has come to give so much more context than the first season was allowed to do, because it takes time. The narrative has to breathe and things unfold. But now, one would imagine that you have made a lot of leeway in setting the groundwork for things finishing up in a particular way where, okay, the context spoke for itself, and like anyone, choices had to be made. How much growth do you feel like your character has had along with your classmates? You know, everyone has had this journey, but it has been legitimate growth.
Yeah. I was thinking about the allusion to the James Baldwin quote from season 1 that you were referring to. Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning of the show, it thankfully was never an explanation. It was never a show that was meant to explain blackness to anyone. It was never a show meant to explain types of people. It was a show to capture the essence of these students and what they were going through in an institution that they were needing to learn from, but that was simultaneously oppressing them, and how they deal with it. And I think that following these young people from a blackface party to the protest to their friend having a gun being pulled on him at campus at a party to molestation allegations, you've really seen them deal with everything that, because it's a microcosm of America, we all are also experiencing, but they're young people. And so following them and knowing that this is not just fiction, that this is real life, I think gives it a gravitas that's different, and that makes you invested in each character, because each character is digesting this trauma differently. Like Reggie is digesting this very different from Sam. The trauma that Reggie's walking away with is very different from what Sam is walking away with. When they both graduate from Winchester University, how their lives are affected in the real world are very different. And I'm appreciative of the show for not being fearful of really walking in the footsteps of these students. And so in season 4, none of their experiences go away. I mean, Sam lost her dad, that the death of a parent in college, that is not easy. I've lost my father, and I was, I can't say I was a grown woman, but I was in my 20s. I was turning 25. It's so young to lose a parent. And especially for someone like Sam, who's biracial, who, sometimes denies her whiteness. And that's the father she lost. And it's so like, wow, that's the side of you were denying, and now he's gone. How do you grapple with that? How does that challenge your identity? It's just been a really fascinating look at identity, at trauma, at the microcosm of America. And so I'm just happy that we get a 4th season, so that the writers get to consciously and intentionally decide where they want to leave these students forever in the canon of television.
Your activism, your sense of how you leverage your professional celebrity and what you have earned, right? Your voice, the way that you use your voice. With this experience of Dear White People, there was the Reggie party scene. And that was a scene where you chose to speak up as it relates to a flippant, insensitive remark that an extra made. You did not receive the comment well, and you immediately spoke up. Can you share with the audience what took place? Why was it important for you to speak up? And when you spoke up, is that too something you consider to be a form of activism?
So filming that scene, I mean, if you've seen that scene, it is gut-wrenching and terrifying to watch, because anyone who is Black knows what that is like, knows someone who knows what that's like if they don't know personally. So when we were filming that scene, it was very real. We had we just had a set that was so authentic. We had the amazing Barry Jenkins directing us that episode, and it was very important to him that it was real for Marquis as he was filming, and real for the rest of us. And we were emotional when we were filming that scene because it felt very real and we all could relate to it. And there was of course, a big room filled with people who were mostly white because it was a fictional Ivy League PWI. And one of the extras made a comment about, why are you guys being so emotional? This isn't real. I lost it. I lost it. And I yelled at him and I said, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was probably something to the effect of, you have the luxury of this not being real for you. It is real for us. And I like had to step away from him. I remember going outside and bawling because we were at this house and I was just bawling. We were so emotional. And then my producers were like, do you want us to have him removed? We'll have him removed. And I was so dramatic. I was like, no, he needs to see this. And it was real. It was so real for us. Do I consider that activism in that moment? I'm not sure. What I do consider it is, I cannot stand when people who, especially if it's a white man walking in a white man's world, challenges what it is like for anyone else to walk in a white man's world. So for him to say that that wasn't real, I couldn't, like, the audacity of someone to say that with especially everything that goes on, and like, you have a phone, you see what happens. And so, yeah, that's what happened in that moment. Is I couldn't believe he said that, because it was very real for Marquis.
For any of the viewers around the globe checking this exclusive intimate conversation, Inspiring Reflections with Logan Browning, we just want to make sure that you're in the loop, giving you some broad strokes here, that the scene, and spoiler alert for those who haven't had a chance to see Dear White People yet, but this scene is a party scene where one of the students, Reggie Green, finds himself in a situation where he's facing down the barrel of a gun for no reason. And it very, in a visceral fashion, speaks to the plight of being Black and male, and there being no reason to be in a situation like that. It does not matter whether or not there is a, quote, reason for one to be in such a situation. And so for him, it was in awakening of sorts, where this is what it looks like to be Black, male, on a predominantly white campus when we are not viewed as humans. And so how do we respond, particularly when we're kids trying to grow up? Powerful acting, the writing stellar, and I think speaks to the heart of the necessity of the show and why it will, I think, be something that stands the test of time for this century. So a big shout out to the writers and the cast, and I think, Queen, in some small way, it sounded like you were not thinking of the repercussions of how professionally you might be impacted by speaking up and speaking out. And so that I think is in the ballpark of activism. To what extent, to what degree, that's a whole nother discussion. However, once upon a time, doing what you did might have been a recipe for one not getting the next gig, much less having a career that continues.
I definitely understand that. And what I can say is what I'm very grateful and appreciative for is that being on Dear White People's set, I know it's a safe space. And I know that it would be different on other sets, but I know for a fact on a show like Dear White People, because of the people we have running it and it's their baby, that they care, period. They care about the people, they care. I mean, it was my producers who came up to me and were like, what do you want us to do with him? Like, what do you want us to do with him? We will have him escorted out this moment. They cared about, because it was also real for them. And we were like their children, you know, they were watching us go through this take after take after take. And so that's why I think it's also important if you're gonna tell Black stories to have Black storytellers, you know, because it mattered to them how we were being affected, even though it was a fictional story being told.
And I think it has to be acknowledged that your choice to have the gentleman remain was a super look in terms of grace and growth. You extended some grace in a moment where it didn't quite have to be like that. You could have put the hammer down because you had political support to do it. You had production support to do it. But you chose to make it a potentially a time to teach. You know, so by virtue of what you extended to him, I think others also who were on the set that day, other extras, and just some other people in general, regardless of where they were in terms of the production crew, that, you know, you allowed your voice to be heard in a way where you were teaching, man. So, you know, she is Sister Logan Browning, actress, dancer, and educator, right? 99.3 FM, Rhythm of the Coast, rhythmofthecoast.com. Having a great time, man. She recently was nominated for Best Comedy Actress alongside some other stellar actresses. So how about this? On the other side of this music break, we'll come back and chop it up a bit about that, man. All right? Brought to you by a whole lot of support from Oxnard Harbor District, the Port of Hueneme. We make cargo move. Hey, Sister Lola, bro, if you will. Khalid, right back after this. We're going to come right back.
All right.
Let's get it in. 99.3 FM, rhythmofthecoast.com. An intimate conversation, inspiring reflections. We see you. Let's get it. She is Logan Browning. One of a kind, man. Ain't nobody out there like her. Nominated once again this year for Best Comedy Actress, man. The company, I think your fellow nominees, it is the next dope movie, next dope musical, next dope soundtrack, just with tons of spin-off possibility if the five of you got together to do anything. Read the telephone book. So once again, you were nominated in this category. So the 50th NAACP Image Awards, you find yourself in this position where, like, wow, I'm here, this is real, this is dope, it's exciting. A milestone, if you will, in one's career. The following year, 51st annual, it happens again. This go-round, Tiffany Haddish, Yara Shahidi, Tracee Ellis Ross, Jill Scott, and you. That's, people would show up just to watch y'all look at people. Just awesome. But what's super cool about this experience is that Tracee Ellis Ross extended to you beautiful words of support and encouragement that have meant a lot to you. What specifically has she shared during the last couple of years as she has won in this category during her acceptance speeches? And what have you learned from the way in which she has gone about her business as an actress?
So the first year I was nominated, which was so cool, like you said, it was a 50th. That year we were in the Dolby, like it was a big deal. I think it was that's where they have the Oscars, right? The Dolby, yeah.
Right.
I mean, it was a big deal. It was just really spectacular. And I was like, oh my God, first time nominated. My mom, my brother, we're here. There's Beyonce, there's Jay-Z. This is cool. I truly didn't expect to win, but you still have these kind of like, but what if I do? What am I gonna do? And so when Tracy, when her name was called and she went up there, I was like, of course, Queen Tracy, like, so deserved that award. And when she went up in this big, beautiful dress I remember she had on, she didn't say anyone's name who was in the category, but what she did do was say that she remembered being nominated for the first time and really wanting that award. She remembered all of the times that she had been nominated and hadn't won for Girlfriends. And what she said on the mic as she was accepting was she wishes that she knew back then that she would be there now. And that ultimately what she was saying was that young Yara, young Logan, because we were both nominated that year, your time is coming, patience, acceptance. You're gonna be in the game for a long time. There's no need to want it now or feel like if I don't get it now, I won't get it anytime. And so that was really special because she didn't say anyone's name in particular, but I felt, even if she didn't intend it, I felt, and I accepted it. And this year, she actually listed everyone in the category and said, these are the women who are making change, making history, who are the women that I look up to. Like she was saying these things, and it's just like, wow, what a gracious woman to go up and it to not be about her. I mean, that's one of the things I learned is if I ever get to the point, whenever I get to the point of accepting an award on stage, to remember the other women who were in the category with me, because any one of us could have been standing up there, and all of us dream of standing up there, and especially if they're younger than me, to speak to their dreams, because I will always remember what it was like for me as a younger person, a younger actress looking at Tracy, wanting to be up there, knowing it's not my time right now, and hearing someone affirm that one day I will be there.
The way in which you put into context what she did means to you, personally and professionally, it is such a gift to get to hear you express that, because it speaks to what the ancestors labored to give us a chance to do. Nurture one another and build so that the next person in the mix could have a shot to go to another level and let that cycle breathe and live on its own. So, we look forward to you doing exactly what you said, because you spoke it into the ethos in a way where no one will be surprised that you are graceful about the way in which you achieve, because we can connect the dots to a Tracy Ellis Ross, who can connect the dots to scores of others who are more often than not nameless, but you are in a position to put a name to this spirit. So it's phenomenal, man. It's phenomenal. And congratulations on the nomination, because you are a winner, straight up.
Thank you.
You are a winner, man. Speaking of winning spirits and being influenced by those persons whom we carry around on a daily basis with our day-to-day lifestyles, Your mother and father, the lifestyle that they put in the mix for you guys in the household, that, you know, these principles of having a strong spiritual foundation, making sure you have a connection to the arts, the value of an education, making sure you become self-sufficient and independent. To what extent do you feel like having those role models who emphasize that on a daily basis in terms of how you live a whole, healthy life, to what extent does that affect how you navigate your way now as a grown woman in the business of show?
I got the best parent cards ever. I mean, God was like, he was holding the jokers out and he was like, Logan, take these jokers, save these jokers, girl. And I was like, thanks, God. No, I got the best parents ever. And I can't help but carry them with me because I mean, I'm them. I am a manifestation of all of their hard work, all of their sacrifice, all of their wisdom. And not only that, but when it comes to me and my work, I started working at 14, so they were with me. So it wasn't like I was on a set and doing this thing without them. I started with them. They were guiding me. I remember being on sets and my dad saying to me, Logan, you need to know everyone's name on the set because everyone shows up to do a job. They're your coworkers. You know, you need to know, you know, the young man who is doing crafty. You need to know the young man who is the grip, the young woman who is doing the transportation. You need to know these people's names. And so that's something I hold with me. Or, you know, you have to take off your wardrobe, put your clothes back on. And my mom will go, whoa, 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 why are you hang those clothes back up? Those are your character's clothes. You have to respect those clothes. You have to respect your character, right? So hang her clothes back up because it's not that person's job after to come pick up your mess, the wardrobe person's job. So I learned to hang up my clothes, and that's something I always do, and that's something that now to this day I will be exhausted at like 4 a.m. going home, and I'll be like, gotta hang up the clothes, gotta make sure that, you know, whoever is doing that job, because they're tired, because they're not only just grabbing my clothes, they're grabbing all of the characters' clothes, they're putting them all back up, they're doing a lot of work. So if the small things that I can do to help, that's what I need to make sure, you know, to be doing my part. So yeah, what they instilled in me is with me because they were with me when I started, and it just kind of, they slowly, you know, fizzled out as I became old enough to be on a set by myself. But yeah, everything that they taught me is still with me.
The value of acknowledging everybody top to bottom, if you will, or across the board on a production crew. For you, without that, would the experience mean as much with what you do as an actress, as an artist?
I don't know. I don't know a world where that exists. So I'm not sure. I'm grateful for this. I think that I only do things with meaning and intentionality. So if it didn't have that, I'm sure I probably wouldn't have stuck around with it for so long.
Yeah. Because what one gets from you is that in order for you to be at your best, you have to acknowledge the value of everyone else and their contributions to the process of creating art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm grateful. I mean, I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful that I had the parents I had. I'm grateful that I've been able to do the art that I have, because I was just saying this to one of my friends. My friend was like, what do you want to do next? Like, what is going to be that next thing that you really sink your teeth into? What are you looking forward to? And I'm like, you know what? Everything that I've ever done has happened without me preparing for it, without me looking for it. Every single job that I've had. Bratz, I was back in Georgia in high school. My agents called and were like, hey, Linda and Larry, We know Logan's doing the kid thing, but we think she'd be great for this movie. I auditioned for it. I booked it. Meet the Browns. I was in LA, writer's strike, booked nothing for a year. I literally called my dad. I was like, hey, Dad, I'm going to come home. A week later, hey, can Logan come audition for this role? A week later, going to meet Mr. Perry and on the show. Hit the floor. Wanted to play Asha, the sweet girl. And I didn't want to play Yelena. They were like, please play this mean girl. I was like, fine, I'll play this mean girl. I end up playing her. Dear White People was a movie. I get an email. They're like, hey, we're going to do Dear White People a series. Or we're going to do Dear White People. I'm like, I saw that movie. They're like, no, it's going to be a series. Wow, great. Like, nothing that I've done has been something that I saw, but it's something that I believe is ordained, and it's something that's how I know I'm literally meant to be in this seat right now and in this career right now. I'm not the best actress in the world. I'm not the perfect actress. I have gotten better as I've continued because I care about my craft. I care about what I'm doing. I believe anything that anyone wants to do, if they continue to put their mind to it, they will get better at it. And I've gotten to see my growth, and I've gotten to see the benefits, not just for myself, but for the people around me in terms of what I've been exposed to, what I've been able to do, the lives I've been able to touch, the money I've been able to give back to my family that they sacrificed for me. Like, it's all been an investment. So yeah, I'm grateful, and I know that I'm not walking blindly, but I'm walking in faith, knowing that every step is 1,000% ordained for me.
She is the best. That's Larice. Logan Larice Browning, superhero extraordinaire. Don't go anywhere. We're going to squeeze an extra segment out here. I said, don't move. We're coming back. She's not leaving. We're going to go one more again before this thing is all said and done, all right? You having fun? Around the globe, you having fun? You know where you are. 99.3 FM, Rhythm of the Coast, rhythmofthecoast.com. It gets no better than this. An intimate conversation with inspiring reflections. She has no equal. Her future is beyond bright. We'll just start calling her Sunny. You know what I'm saying? Sister Solar. All right, man. Brought to you by the California 2020 Census and additional support provided by the Port of Hueneme, Oxnard Harbor District. We make cargo move. So we're locked, we're loaded, stick and stay. If you promise not to go anywhere, we promise that we'll be here in just a few moments, all right? I'm trying to get some music. Before, what had happened was I introduced this joint from Khalid right back. But what happened was we got a little too excited about a film that's dropping in a few days on BET from a brother who was a part of an Oscar-nominated and winning film, Dreamgirls, Keith Robinson, who's an incredible singer-songwriter and producer in his own right. So we played Happy, which was a dope look. But if it's okay, we're going to go back. We're going to get Khalid with Right Back. And then as promised, Sister Lola Bro is going to be here. We're going to chop it up about a couple more 4-5 things. And we're going to have some fun. Is that the rumor is that there is a live studio audience outside, but I hear crickets right now. See, y'all funny style. We love you. Thank you so much for your support, man. Stick around. We'll be right back. Khalid, right back. Right back. Khalid, international superstar. Man, if I could dance, Lolo, if I could dance.
Do it.
I'm talking, but we both know. See, why is she laughing? Because she knows that I'm talking and I ain't saying nothing. And if I could dance, I'd still be just.
I saw your foot tap. It was an on-beat foot tap.
Wow. So I feel like those animals that were when we're kids and the animal really didn't have to do anything, and we just just for being an animal, it's so good. It's so good.
I still do that. I see my friend's apartment has snails, and I'm like, look at the snail go. I just think it's the cutest thing ever.
All right, so I'll take that. I'm a snail.
You're a snail.
Yes, thank you. Room to grow, room to grow. She is Logan Browning. This is an intimate conversation with inspiring reflections, man. Okay, now see, around the globe, you can't hear this, but there was at least one person in the live studio audience. It's an intimate group of folks, right? But see, because we called him out a few moments ago, Sister Lola Bro, I heard somebody with the nerve to go, woo!
Oh yeah, now they're waking up.
Right?
They needed their special night juice.
See, I wasn't gonna go there with the party favors. I don't know what's up back there, but as long as everybody's having a great time, man. Well, we thank you so much around the globe, wherever you are catching this exclusive broadcast of this intimate conversation, inspiring reflections. The influences that continue to have an impact on your day-to-day life. Someone comes to mind, Mike Durow, your music background, chorus, the combination of discipline and compassion had an impact on you in a way where you seek to add those components to how you approach your daily life and your professional activities, and always wanting to bring a tangible degree of seriousness with what you do, but also making sure that you do it in a way where it is disciplined, tempered with compassion.
How the heck did you find Mike Durow? How? Did you go to my middle school records? How did you find that? He's silent. A man of so many words is speechless. I'm impressed. Mr. Durow was one of my favorite teachers. And when I think about Mr. Durow, he would do this. He had so many, it was like he was a drill sergeant. We were like an army, and I remember, we would sit, it was middle school, we were a chorus, we had seat positions. It was like you had 1, 2, 3, 4, all these seat positions, and one would be feet on the floor, back up straight. He called it buzz-foff. Back up straight, feet on floor, buzz-foff. That's position 1. And he would do this if your legs were crossed. He would take his fingers, his first index and middle fingers would be crossed, and he would uncross them because you needed to have your both feet on the floor. He was very disciplined, and I remember all of us in the class, we'd be like, Mr. Durow, he's so strict, but you kind of liked it. You liked that discipline, and I loved him because art was so important to him, because art traveled us. Like, we were in Clayton County, Georgia. We were in this middle school, just in a choral room, but somehow him teaching us music took us to perform at the Louise Mandrell show at Dolly Parton's theme park, and we were in Allstate and traveling. I mean, we did so much because of music, and it taught me that art travels you. Like, if you're in the arts, you get to go places. And it was honestly just an extension of, I was also in ballet when I was really young, and that's very disciplined, and that him teaching us was an extension of that kind of discipline. And I don't know where Mr. Durow is, but like, if I ever saw him, I would just cry and squeeze him, because he taught me to respect myself, respect who is teaching me, respect the craft, respect the people around me, and to demand that level of respect. I would never, and it just, I don't know, it permeates. I would never look to my side and see someone who wasn't a part of what we were creating. Everyone would have their back up straight, feet on the floor, because that was the environment he created. And I am someone who dreams of being a director, and so I basically watched him direct us and create that environment. So, yeah, I loved that guy.
The fact that you referenced Louise Mandrell, that alone was worth hearing the impact that he had on you. I mean, geez, the Mandrell sisters, Barbara Mandrell, Louise Mandrell, that mega talents. So for those of you, for anyone for whom the name Louise Mandrell or Barbara Mandrell or the Mandrell sisters, if this is your introduction to them, just put your Google work in right now, because they are no joke, legendary. Wow. So Mr. Deroe was on it, exposing you to the Louise Mandrell. See, he just became my hero when you said Louise Mandrell. I was like, I'm in. Where is he going to be next? Sign me up. So on the horizon, a few moments ago, you alluded to what's next for you. What might you be doing next? A couple of things. You potentially directing and singing, since we were talking about Mr. Deroe. So will we see you pursue, humming a tune or two, dancing alongside the tune you're humming? I mean, why not?
I love singing. It's definitely something that I've always loved to do. And when I'm finished with the season of Dear White People, I hope to get a little more serious about doing musical theater, because that's something I would love to be on Broadway. And it doesn't have to be musical theater. It could be a play on Broadway. But I would love to do that. My little brother is an opera singer, or that's what his training is in. And it's just something that I have to continue to train in, like anything else.
When you're this talented, it is such a cool thing to hear that this is a part of your natural process of just how you move and groove creatively. That let me just see. I'm gonna see about this thing. That it's wonderful because there's a freedom with which you've been groomed to live. And so for all of the people, that are a part of the tapestry of your background, the moves that you make are a constant celebration of all of them. So that's neat, man. Whatever moves you make in terms of the future, man, we're just all excited, man. We're waiting with bated breath. As you get ready for this fourth and final season, Dear White People, you hope for it ultimately to accomplish what? Best case scenario for you in terms of what you've already invested in this role of Samantha White.
That's a good question. I've learned something about myself every season that I've portrayed Samantha, because our writers are just so talented. They've somehow written something every year that's forced me to look at a part of myself. So I'm looking forward to being surprised at what they help me discover about myself. But what I hope is to leave the audience with a young woman who, gosh, they have seen pulled in every single direction. I mean, I think about her dealing with her internet troll and, like I said before, her dealing with the blackface party, her dealing with her dad, her dealing with, being done with the radio station, with wanting to be a director, not knowing what her vision is. I mean, like, you've really seen her love life. You've seen her pulled in so many directions. I hope to leave the audience with a young woman who is sure of who she is, but has the world at her feet and can go anywhere. I don't want to leave feeling like we know who this person is and where she's going to go in life. I want you to feel like we've made it with her to this point, solid. She can go anywhere. I'm grateful to have played a character like her because she's not perfect. And I don't want to play perfect characters. I don't want to play characters that everybody likes all the time. I want to play a character that sometimes you love her, sometimes you can't stand her, sometimes you're like, oh, that's me. Sometimes you're like, oh, that's my cousin. Like I want to play people who are real and not perfect. And so that's all I want to leave leave her with.
A supersized body of work, continuing to grow and get better and better. Wow. What is it? What is it? That adage about fine wine ages over time? Is that thing? Why are you giving
And
me
cheese.
to look like what? Wait, did you got to put the cheese in there too?
No, I think cheese gets better, right? With age?
Cheese get. Now, how am I supposed
The
to?
wine and the cheese.
What I'm saying is that I'm confused already about the
cars?
wine. So what am I supposed to do with the cheddar now?
Oh, I didn't say cheddar. You know, you're like a brie, like a
Ooh, that's
like a Gouda.
Okay, see, this has become a class thing now. Brie is not a part of a brother's lexicon.
It could be.
Well, I mean, you're right. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It could be, but things were so much more positive before. I should have known how the adage goes before I attempted to say it. Because you know what I was trying to say, Queen, is that you were the poopy, and I mean the good kind.
The emoji with the smiley face.
Yes.
That kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
2020, you were the emoji poopy. That's what I meant to say. Yes. 99.3 FM, Rhythm of the Coast, rhythmofthecoast.com. Listen, before the sun sets on us, we do have to take a quick moment to, did we have any questions from, okay, well, come through. Pull up. Come through. Holla at your peoples.
Pull up.
All right, let's see.
Ooh, this is-
Okay. All right, Sister Lola, bro, let's see what we got here. What would you say the message of Dear White People is? Who's the audience? Are they hearing it?
Oh.
Let me, I'm just for the sake of clarity here. What would you say the message of Dear White People is? Who is the audience? And are they hearing it?
Okay. I want to start with who the audience is. The audience of Dear White People is everyone. Everyone is the audience of Dear White People. And I think that the audience is determined by the time in which someone catches on to the show. You know, because like maybe someone who first heard about the show in season 1 who was put off by it would not watch it now with the season 4 after having other people watch it would now be an audience member. So I think the audience is everyone depending on at what point in their lives they're ready to listen to it. Some of us are ready to listen to Dear White People immediately because we've been craving a Dear White People, and some of us haven't. The message of Dear White People is compassion, is empathy, and it is, I mean, ultimately, when you look at a group of young Black college students on television, young Black people in general, when we watch TV, there's so many shows that we've had to see ourselves in that are not Black people. You know, you can watch a character and go, oh, I see myself in that character, even though they don't look like me because I've had to. Dear White People, for Black people, goes, okay, I see myself in that character because they look like me, but also what it does is it flips it, and people who aren't Black, who watch the show and who enjoy the show go, oh, wow, I see myself in Reggie. I don't look like Reggie, but wow, that's so crazy. I had no idea. So it changes the game of television and film because it teaches that, you know, you don't have to look a certain way for an audience to relate to your characters. Like you can tell the stories of different cultures for those cultures and also have the audience of other cultures. And are they hearing it? I think that the people who have the bandwidth for brilliance, yes, are hearing it. And I think that the people who don't want to hear it are hearing it anyway, or they wouldn't be talking about it. They wouldn't. You know, in order to have an opinion, you got to pay attention. So they're paying attention.
The next question is an opportunity to acknowledge for the audience. There's a reason why we have been so if you will, dear white people specific. And that has been the meat of much of what we've discussed in terms of your body of work. Because there is history taking place in real time with Dear White People as a vehicle, and the fact that it is getting a fourth and final season where there is pre-planned closure. This does not happen regularly, especially when it is about an African American narrative with an African American cast, the production team inclusive of African Americans in front of and behind the scenes. This is history taking place. And as you, the next few weeks, prepare to go and shoot the fourth and final season, this time together is precious, man. It's like something that will be held in a time capsule of sorts. So for, again, just a few moments of context for those who are like, man, well, what about all of the other stuff that she's done in her career? How are we going to leave out the perfectionist? She taught herself how to play the cello. Speaking of which, there's a cello. Could you bring the cello in right now, please?
Don't play me. Bring the cello in.
Scale. She's going to do something on the scale.
Bring the cello in.
Hey, listen, we weren't trying to challenge you. I was just saying that we, man, see.
Accepted.
See, that's the Larice that I was talking about. That's Larice. So, man, the next question is, what was your most challenging project? And they say that they loved the perfectionist. Perfection.
You're the perfectionist.
Wow. Oh, the title. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. The title of the film is The Perfection.
You're not the only one who does. Everyone does that.
However, and this is not an excuse on my part.
That's how it's written.
Love the movie The Perfectionist, in parentheses.
I need to watch that one.
So I think that's a vehicle for the two of us. And a part of the storyline is going to be, I told you I am a perfectionist. I told you. So The Perfection, co-starring the great Allison Williams, man. You stepped into some territory where it caught a lot of people by surprise. One of the things that comes to mind is the vehicle, the fantastic festival in Austin, Texas, where it is a unique experience for movie fans of the horror genre. For you, entering this world of the so-called horror genre, but doing it in this way, how did that kind of, flip the script, so to speak, for everything you had done in your career up to that point, and then you see this script, and then you do this? One would imagine that was something maybe you didn't quite see coming your way.
Like I said, I didn't see any of the things I've done coming my way, and I think that we're privy to the Get Outs, the Us. Jordan Peele has really changed the game when it comes to horror films being vehicles for conversation. And so that script was unlike anything I'd ever read. When I couldn't put it down, what I really liked about the script was when I read the character of Lizzie, she wasn't written as any ethnicity. She was just written as this character. And so I was able to envision myself in it. Sometimes I'll read it and like maybe the character's written a specific race and like you're supposed to plug yourself in, but I'm like, wow, you already told me that you wanted her to be this certain way, so now I'm kind of like trying to put myself in it. So that was cool. But also, once I was cast, one of the great things that happened was I sat down with Allison, sat down with Richard, our director, and we combed through the script and adjusted it for me. Because there were certain things that just didn't work anymore with me being me. And that's how I knew I was like, oh, I'm with the right people doing this. Because, Allison had just come off of Get Out and she was like, I cannot be in a film where I'm considered a white savior. Like, please save me from those threads. And so we combed through it and we adjusted it. And even after we filmed it, we went back and added another scene because it still wasn't enough. It's like, nope, Lizzie hasn't gotten enough revenge. And I had fun. I love doing that project. What I want to do is work with great people, and that's what I got to do. I made friends for life. I worked with people who respect me, who respect the work environment, and yeah. And to answer that other question about what is my hardest role yet, most difficult, it's every role I play, truly and honestly, because it's like you're stepping into that newest character. Yeah.
Well, you know, now that we have renamed what has become an instant classic horror film, let's see, brothers in the barbershop asking me, so say, Al, say, when the perfectionist, huh?
Good luck finding it.
She is Logan Browning. Hey, but you know, in our game, anything is possible, right? After, as of this broadcast, we may very well run into a bootleg, remixed mixtape version of The Perfection.
Don't let me find it.
Look out! That's the Larice coming out, man. Well, listen, it is a privilege to be in your presence. Thank you for everything that you represent. Thank you for continuing to be an artist that, as you achieve excellence, you are striving to create a way for others where those coming behind you have a chance to make a mark of their own and do so in a way where they follow the way in which you've gone about achieving your goals, man. So you indeed are a queen. We salute you. We celebrate you. We're so proud of you. And we wish you the best with everything because we know it's only going to get bigger and better from here.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sister Logan Larice Browning, an intimate conversation, inspiring reflections. And we want to thank those from the Facebook Live family who sent us some questions and keeping me on my toes with making sure that I get movie titles right. You know, I'm a work in progress. The word brie has become a part of my working vocabulary, man. So we want to thank also the California 2020 Census for your sponsorship and additional support provided by the Port of Hueneme, Oxnard Harbor District. We make cargo move for supporting the 99.3 FM Rhythm of the Coast family. Without you, none of this is possible. So a gentle reminder with the blessing of our sister Logan Browning that we're just going to remind everyone who supports Rhythm of the Coast on how they can do that. When you go to rhythmofthecoast.com, there is a little red dot that you're looking for. They push it, and then they contribute whatever they want. No amount is too big or too small, right? Sister Lola, bro, I would say that basically what that means is everything counts, right?
Okay, yes, I agree.
You agree?
I do agree.
Okay, well, we have the endorsement right there. So we thank you for going to rhythmofthecoast.com and pushing that red button, and we appreciate your generosity. Well, until next go-round, Sister Lola, bro, can we hit you up on the gram? What is that?
What's my gram?
Yeah.
My graham cracker is at Logan Larice. And wash your hands.
Wow. Okay. And for that person who literally, because I can hear you right now saying, okay, wait, she said it was Logan Larice and wash your hands. I'm not finding that on the gram. I'm not finding. You don't have to. It's just Logan Larice, okay? It's at Logan Larice. You don't have to type in and wash your hands.
But you do have to wash your hands.
Yes, she's saying the physical act of sanitizing one's hands. Okay.
And the elbow greet or foot greet.
Right.
Elbow greet, foot greet.
Fist bump?
It's a little dance. Ha. Elbow, foot. Ouch, that hurt. Did you guys hear that?
I'm battling now. I'm battling.
Also, feel free to go to my Instagram and learn the Playa del Carmen. I made it up with my friends. It's a dance. It's a line dance. I'm trying to make it a thing.
running those streets in Mexico. I don't do gossip. I don't do rumors. I don't do, it's just a thing. I don't do, but she put it out there. Sister Lola, bro, was running them streets in Mexico, a friend's wedding. And days before the wedding, she's out here choreographing, practicing at outdoor bars. This line dance that she choreographed, this is serious business.
You guys have to learn the dance.
Playa del Carmen.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny. The real name is Playas of the Carmen because my friend, we were in Playa del Carmen, and she's like, "Oh, we're going to Playas of the Carmen." So that's the real name. But for the hashtag sake, it's Playa del Carmen.
Okay, all right. So if we're keeping the tally here, when you have wine, keep you some good brie, right?
Yeah.
And when they hit you on the gram, they got to do it with clean hands.
Yeah.
Right? And,
Yeah.
and then when you want to dap your partners, you got to do that with an elbow.
And a foot.
Okay, elbow and a foot. Elbow and a kid in play?
Yep. There you go. It's a little chicken kid in play situation. Ha. Oh, look at you dancing. Ha. Hit it. Ha. Hit it. Okay. Look at us.
It's cool. It works better when I don't bump into the table. That's cool.
Yeah.
We love you, Queen. You're the best of the
Likewise.
bestest.
Thank you.
Yes.
Pow.
Fist bump.
Fist bump is okay.
We'll see you next go round. Rhythmofthecoast.com, 99.3 FM. Intimate conversation, inspiring reflections. She is Larice Browning, AKA Logan. Dear White People, season 4 on the way. The final season, you don't want to miss it. Netflix. We'll see you soon, Queen.
Thank you.